Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at widespread snowfall here and rain to the south. Temperatures are basically in the 30s where the snow is occurring, a little to the south in the mid-30s. And we're looking at daytime high temperatures today, roughly in that 30 to 35 degree range here in Vermont. Looking at it, primarily southerly wind, importing slightly warmer air aloft and at surface, and these are going to creep in throughout a wide area of Vermont. Temperatures across northern New Hampshire into Maine, parts of areas to the north and east of us have been relatively cold, with temperatures basically in the teens. It's that interaction between those temperatures and warmer air and a lot of moisture currently off to the south of us here that's going to be pushing on in on a northeastern trajectory, and some pretty good moisture is going to make it into a good section of Vermont. Generally in the southern four counties of Vermont, seeing the most of the heavier precipitation, but some of that's going to even make it a little bit further north, and things over time have been shifting to the north. So we're looking still at wet snow loading potential here for Bennington County. Windham County, a little lesser chances. It's shifted a little bit further to the north, more into Rutland County, western portions of Windsor County, and really Rutland and maybe even some parts of Addison County could be affected with some isolated tree limb damage. At this point in time, this is kind of on the fence, as we're just barely getting enough of that wet snow that's going to be falling on, and then temperatures will be kind of a moving target going up and down. The main issue really is going to be this evening, so roughly from around 4 o'clock on through about midnight is the target time to watch wet snow loading in these locations. Looking at the European model here, kind of an idea consensus here. You see the heavier precipitation off to the south across portions of western North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and so forth. This is the moisture tongue that's going to be working into southern Vermont. And this is valid around 7 o'clock this evening. You can see that some of that heavier snow has already started to fall. This is the area in the southern Adirondacks, and carrying over, it looks like, a little bit north of Bennington County, more into Rutland, and potentially even a little bit into Addison County. So here again, these are 6-hour segments, time shots here. So that particular snapshot, this is valid 1 o'clock in the morning, and most of the wet snow loading threat is over at that point in time. In fact, just about all of it. We dry slot a little bit, drier air in trains, and a little bit of a gusty northwest wind on the backside, west to northwesterly. Gradient winds maybe gusting as high as 40, and then that pulls on out. Now, I also want to call your attention to another weather system, which we'll be discussing here in the near future. And this is loaded for bear once again. So we have round number 2 that's going to be taking place Wednesday afternoon, especially into Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. And it too exits. Looks like it's a little bit heavier in the moisture department here. And it's fraught with all sorts of problems, including some freezing rain aspects potentially in the southern part of Vermont, but mostly a wet snow loading issue, and then primarily snow in northern areas. Okay, this is my new favorite computer model here, the high resolution ensemble forecast. And you can see this is precipitation type, a little bit of flurry activity working through, or light snow patches kind of east of the Green Mountains. And this is going to let up, it looks like, for the middle part of the afternoon. This is valid about 1 o'clock. Here we go. Here's 1 o'clock. And then 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You start to see the area strong upslope in the Catskills as well as the southern Adirondack Mountains, and this is going to extend into Vermont. This is valid about 6 o'clock this evening. 7, 8, 9, 10. And after about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we start to see it lessening in the snowfall. And also the wet snow loading aspects will be long gone at that point in time. This is carrying over to about 4 or 5 in the morning, 6, 7, 8. You see a little bit of an uptick right along the spine of the Green Mountains, or just west of the spine of the Greens. A little bit of a blocking action signature here. Drier conditions east of the Green Mountains. little more snow right along the western slopes. Typical upsloping component, as we'll have some pretty gusty west to northwest winds during the day on Monday. So surface temperatures definitely playing a strong role in this wet snow loading elevated off valley floors. This is our afternoon temperatures, and generally in that sort of 30 to 35 realm here. So the main action, this is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Stays relatively warm. And this is valid 9, 10 Z. That's 5 in the morning on Monday and so forth. You can see much colder air swinging in thereafter. And this is the high-resolution ensemble forecast total snowfall. Now, a lot of this is going to be melted as it fell, so this is just the fall of snow coming out of the sky, not necessarily snow depths here. But some fairly impressive snowfall here, over a foot, indicated in some of the southern greens. And then this particular area here really getting hit along the southern Adirondacks. And that's that same mechanism that then kind of carries across mainly central Vermont, sort of southern and central Vermont, during the late part of today and into the evening hours tonight. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.